People whoever trying to hire you, they just want to see your name and check. Usually they're not going to read your objective. To be frank, it feels like they are giving the minimum wage to an experienced guy here. Hi, hello everyone, this is Krishna. Welcome to my YouTube channel Canada Krishna. Let's start our video today. In today's video, I'm going to share you all the details required for making your part-time resume, right? What are the basic details and what the people who is going to hire you for the part-time are going to see in your resume. All those details will be covered in this video. So let's start our video today. Guys, for you to give a glance how I got a job, just see all the resumes here. All these are my resumes, all these of them. So what actually happened here is I took 18 printouts of my resumes, in which I only distributed 3 and I actually got a job. So most of the people who come for Canada, US or anywhere as a student will have two type of streams. One would be they actually have an experience in India or any other their own country, or the one who is a fresher and he's straight out of here undergrad and he's doing his masters here. These are the two ways. Either ways, your professional resume doesn't look like your part-time resume. There is some difference with the part-time resume. The reason being is part-time resume you should have in only one paper, which means that you should not spend much of your money on your resumes. Two to three papers makes it expensive for you to take the resumes, and they actually don't read all those stuff right in your part-time resume. So it's always preferred to have only one paper. I'll just show you what all details required in that one paper of your resume. The starting part of your page will have your name, which is like a bold big top right. So once you have your name, you will have your contact details as well, your email ID and your phone number. So what happens is that people whoever trying to hire you, they just want to see your name and check your contact details so that they can quickly call you if they actually have some shortage in their labor, right? Those are the main important details which you need to give on the top of your resume. And if you want, you can give your city name or your address, but I would say it is not preferred for someone who is trying to work in other city and study in other city. That's what it's completely depends. I think if at all you're not giving your address, it's going to be fine as well. After giving your details, you will have this small objective of 2 to 3 lines. The objective mainly says that what kind of person you are and what experience do you have and how you are trying to give the value to the part-time hiring person. So that should be more than fine. Usually they're not going to read your objective, to be frank. It's just there as a formality there. So in the experience part, you might already have your experience in your country, but here what happens is that people add some fake experience here. So there is no issue in that. I think it's better so that you can get a job bit quicker. The mostly fake job experience is going to be in any sales executive related positions. So what I did was like I worked as an sales executive in Reliance Digital, I guess. What happens here is that people who are trying to hire you, they don't want to hire just a fresher in the sales, right? They want to have some experience so that they feel like they are giving the minimum wage to an experienced guy here. So if you try to give a sales executive, make sure you Google what the sales executive basic job work look like. If you want to have my resume, I'll show it to you as well. So you need to have some two to 4 bullet points, what are your roles and what you used to do. It's not a big deal. You can find it in the Google as well, like dealing with the customers and how they interact and how do they try to sell the products, all this stuff, right? All this stuff you should make sure that you are able to pop up in 2 to 4 lines. Having the fake experience in your resume as a sales executive or something related to marketing would be really good, because come on guys, they're not going to check you for your resume and find out if you're fake or not. It's a part-time job and it's a minimum paying job, right? So they're not going to take all those effort to cross-check and make sure you're correct or not. It is easy to get a job in this way, so most people do it that way. And then if you already have an actual Indian experience as a software engineer or someone as in hardware or something else, you can add here. You can add next to your fake experience things. Also make sure that you don't add most technical stuff here. So they don't want to know how good you are in cloud computing or how good you are in Python programming. So it's better that you just give that minimum details, like I used to work with an UK, US or Asian client, something like that. Or I used to, if you are experienced guy, you can actually mention that I used to deal a team of 4 to 5 people, I used to supervise them, something like that. You can see my resume if you want. You can just mention all this kind of stuff, which makes them sure that you actually has this international exposure. You can actually understand the people and you can solve the people's issues here. I'm stressing you again guys, please don't try to be much technical here. They just want to see your kind of leadership roles, activities which you used to do. I hope the experience part here is clear guys, right? So if you have any doubts you can ask. So most of the times they're gonna judge your resume mostly on your fake experience here in India or your own country as a sales executive or something. So when I got a call, she was expecting me as a sales executive, like she was expecting I have already an experience, but turned out I was able to answer all of her questions. Coming to the education part guys, you need not add your 10th, 12th and your undergrad, all this stuff, right? They don't want to have all those things guys in your resume. They just want to see where you study and what program you study. That's more than fine for them. If you want, you can add what intake you came and what intake you will be graduating, expected date of graduating, something like that. So that should be more than fine, because what they're gonna do with your all the details, right? +1, +2 marks, all this stuff. They'll not have a lot of required with that details, I guess. So also if you're trying to add all those details, it's going to be more than a page. So I prefer doing it as in one line, as like I am doing my MBA here in Canada, so I mention my university and my graduation intake and outtake. That should be more than fine. Timetable for the part-time guys, like availability for the part-time, right? This is where you get noticed guys. So what people actually do is that they make a table format and they make when they're available, right? Initially I would suggest you to remove the dates, remove the times which you will have a classes ±2 hours. Say for example, if you're having a class at 1 o'clock at afternoon, you mention that I'll be available till afternoon 12 o'clock. After that I'll be available evening 5 o'clock, something like that. So take some 1 hour buffer, commute and all this stuff. Rest of the dates which will be free, right? Mention that you will be available the whole day guys. By these they will see how flexible you are, how frequently they can call you in a week. So that becomes easy for them to make a decision really quick. If you're trying to have it in a lines, right, it's going to be quite a lot of work. So it's a table makes it very easy to have a look at all those details. The tips I would like to give you for your part-time job would be, if you get a call for the part-time job, there are high chances that you might get selected, because they have some shortage with the labor. That's the reason they're calling you. So if you make a good impression in them and trying to make sure that you are the good candidate for the job, they're definitely going to give it for you only. But the most of the questions which they ask will be related to situation kind of based questions. So it's not going to be more than 10 to 15 minutes of your interview. Make sure whatever fake experience you have a little bit of research in it, so that if they ask, you're not you are not surprised about it. You have some knowledge what it is all about. Also don't worry about the interview guys. It's a minimum paying job and they're not going to ask you all the technicalities and all those details. They just want to see are you able to communicate properly and are you a trustable guy for them. All this they're going to check only basic details. If they are good with it, they are going to offer you a job for sure. The last point I would like to say is that if you have some strong point, right? Say for example, when I was applying for my part-time job, right, the job where I applied was very near to my home, like it's literally 3 to 5 minutes walk from my home. So when she called for an interview and she was asking something related to that, right, I told, why do you want a job? I told, like, it's very near to my home, I can easily commute, and it's going to be win-win for you both, for us and for you guys. Giving that kind of points 2 to 3 times in an interview, like make sure that she gets that written in her mind that this guy is going to be very near and he's going to come whenever we ask him to come. If you have such kind of strong points, you can quote it twice and thrice whenever you feel like you can add those points in between the interview. Add it so that she gets familiar, she or he gets familiar about that. And once you get a job, please comment so that we know how your experience went. Hope this video has added some value to you. If yes, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Until the next video, Krishna signing off.